also had a set time of 6,000 years. And we stuck on 7 now. The devil is the god of the wicked, the Caucasian race, whose world must be destroyed to allow the world of righteousness as its ruler. For he has not ruled universally for over 6,000 years. Therefore, we have been without the true knowledge of God. The Bible's prophets made a prophecy of his coming and not of his presence, and only of the Spirit of God, not as a person. See, they just talked about, the prophets just talked about the Spirit of God in the Bible. They never told you that God was a man. And they said, and he was coming. And he did come. He came to us, brothers and sisters, in the presence of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. Therefore the people worship the Spirit, joy and gladness of God as being the real person of God. They do not believe in the reality of God, only in spirits, wood, stone, iron, gold, silver, sun, the moon, and the stars. Still worshiping inanimate objects, still worshiping in idolatry. It's the same as they did back in the time of Abraham. We haven't changed. Some even worship beasts, animals, birds, snakes, fire, and water as God. This nonsense is to be broken up in these days by the presence of the real God in person. I am with Allah to convince the world that He is God in person. I am with Allah, meaning the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last messenger of Allah. The one that the Master Prophet Muhammad chose to come to us, to deliver us this message of Him, our knowledge of self, and our salvation. He is God in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, and that idols are things, not persons. According to the Bible and the Holy Quran, God is referred to by the pronoun he, never she, always in the masculine term. All these scriptures show that He sees, hears, tastes, smells, talks our language, walks, stands, sits, eats, and drinks. Therefore, God must be a human being. He must be a human being, a man, since we all refer to Him as being our Father. Everyone looks forward to seeing the coming of God, but who has prepared to meet Him on His coming? What do we expect to see? A spirit? Well, we just cannot see spirits. You see, a brother once said that, he said, we can't identify with a spirit, not even with 5 senses. You see, we can't hear a spirit, we can't see a spirit, we can't smell a spirit, we can't taste a spirit, and we can't touch a spirit. See? So how can we identify with a God that we can't identify with the 5 senses? Powerful point in it. We can only feel the spirit. You either wake up in the morning with a good spirit, or you wake up with a bad spirit. Lord knows I've woken up with bad spirits, in a bad spirit. Will we see a man? It's the question. The world does not believe that God is a man. What are we to see for God if he is not a man. Let us check on the Bible and the Holy Quran and see whether or not we should see a spirit or see a man for God. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Genesis 1:1. All praises due to Allah, Lord of the world. The Holy Quran 1:1. The above is said by representatives of God and not directly from the mouth of God, although the words are true. The whole of the book called Genesis of the Bible is said to be Moses' book and what Moses said of the history of God's creation and of Adam, Seth, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Abraham, Lot, and Melchizedek. Now God has not addressed himself to us in Genesis. The opening of the book, it is his prophet Moses. The Holy Quran's opening chapter is a prayer said by the prophet Muhammad and all Muslims. Here God is represented as being the one due all praise, for he is the Lord of the worlds, while Moses says that he is the creator of heaven and earth. But the prophet did not say who was God's creator, nor does the Holy Quran tell us. The Bible reads that he is the first and the last. So does the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran, in referring to God, uses the pronoun we far more than pronoun I. The I is used in the opening of the second chapter. I am Allah, the best knower. He addresses himself to us as being the best knower. But what we know is who is this I am and who is this we? Is it a man or the spirit of man, or a spirit without man, or any living creature of the heavens and earth? The Bible says Enoch walked with God. Genesis 5:24. God talked with Noah. Chapter 6 through 13. And to most of the prophets. Can he be a man or other than a man? God said that. His spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. In Genesis 6:3. We have a great subject before us to open up to the world. So have patience, and by the help of Allah, I shall prove to you that God is a man. The nations of the earth expect the coming of God, who will overcome and destroy all idol gods and set himself up as the supreme God over all. For all nations have made their own gods according to the Bible. Kings 17:19. Many people have been saying for a long time that God is already with us. Most of the people believe God to be a spirit. If he is only a spirit, it is not necessary for us to ever see him, only to feel him, for a spirit cannot be seen. And this has been the only God that we have had in the past. Let us search the Bible and see if it teaches us to believe in the coming of God to be a spirit and not a man. The Bible teaches us of the Spirit of God in many places, but only once do I find where it mentions God as being only a spirit, in John 4:24. And this came from a prophet Jesus and not from the mouth of God. If one reads the previous verse, John 4:23, he or she will find that even Jesus could not have believed God to be only a spirit in these words.